as we honor the process of life, there's so much beauty to be found in the patience and the process of something. And it's something like, I feel the younger generation right now are struggling to see that because they can get so many things instantly. Go on Google. I'm going to search the answers. Boom, got it. Okay, I want to order something. I'm going to go on Amazon. Boom, got it. It's on the way. I want to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Going online. Boom, they're on their way. And so we have this expectation that everything we want, we should just be able to order and it's on its way. And some of us are very addicted by this. And so we get in this instant fix, instant gratification energy where we're always chasing and trying to distract ourselves. But if we can come back to that place and be still and present and patient, and we don't try to force our way, we allow the universe to support us. It's like last week when I mentioned the movie 7 Years in Tibet.
I'm gonna interrupt you. I'm waiting for a minute to get in a word edgewise, and you're going from one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. I can't. All right. Cindy's saying, I feel like I'm becoming more aligned, but struggling with the guilt of leaving family and friends behind. I want to keep the right people around me, but I'm trying to work through that guilt and sadness and fear of judgment about my beliefs and new life coming out of the spiritual closet, quote unquote.
Nice. Okay. Well, on that one, that is an amazing and important initiation that every one of us has to pass. And so, first of all, you're not alone. I had to go through it. Everyone's going to have to go through it in their own way. And so if you can understand and honor that this is a part of the process and that it is absolutely vital that you master this, then you can not get in a scared frenzy about it, but you can be patient, gentle, and present as you move through this process. It will be so much better than being in resistance to the process or denying it or shaming yourself, feeling guilt about it. Let that all go. I feel guilt is one of the nastiest energies the ego brings to seduce you back into heaviness. So if you can shake off guilt, that's the first step, is to have the awareness of, wow, where's this guilt come from? Why do I feel guilty to be authentic? Why do I feel guilty to choose where I really feel is vibrationally best for me? Why would I feel guilt about that? Let's tune into that. Wow, I've been trained to be that way. I've been trained to feel guilty and shamed and to feel bad if I don't do something from obligation. So when we can see that, we can be like, oh, interesting. Look how powerful that energy is. Look how powerful guilt and obligation can be on a human life. Step one, there's your lesson. Jot that in your journal. And then observe how, if you're peaceful and present about it, you don't really need to make anything happen. The way I look at my life is I don't have to make my grandma understand me. I don't have to make my mom understand me. I don't have to make my sister see who I am completely. All I have to do is be authentically me. And if these people that started in my movie, because I look at it as like a life situation, evolution at a soul level, there are soul contracts we have with souls. So we come in, boop, and we choose this family. And there's energies and experiences that we chose soul contracts to go through with these souls. That does not mean that we're going to go through that with them forever. And this is something to really understand. Source tells me we are not to be attached to role and title. What we're taught in society is to absolutely be attached to role and title. So if we listen to the wisdom of Source, this is honesty and this is alignment. This means we attach to nothing. We love and we send support to everyone, including ourselves, while attaching to nothing. And this is the liberation that can be available. And this is true freedom and true evolution and expansion. But when we attach ourselves to what we've been taught, which is when we're at grandma's house, you just be quiet and just do what grandma says. Like, don't you dare, challenge grandma, because that's just not right. That's out of alignment in this house. Like, basically, you just hold all that truth inside until you want to throw up, or you just stuff some more fried chicken in your mouth and you get a little bit heavier with the burden of never speaking your truth. And this is completely normal in society. Go to almost any family gathering. you can energetically tune into how many of those people are not speaking their truth, but they're chowing down together and they're just holding it all inside energetically. And this is so insane. And this is what causes sickness and disease and all kinds of problems. But what's saddest to me, and what I saw in my own family, is the sad part is that there's no authenticity. And what's interesting to me is that if I can break free and not attach to these people, I can love them as they are and realize they are exactly where they need to be in their journey of evolution, and I'm exactly where I am needing to be in my journey of evolution. Then if they choose to come and share sacred space with me, or I choose to share it with them, great. But if they cannot handle my speaking truth and I get shamed for it, or I'm made to feel bad for who I am, why do I need to hang out there? And this is something that will cause a soul, when it's clinging and attaching, it will be very uncomfortable. It'll be very painful. Like, why doesn't my sister ever treat me with respect? Why doesn't my mom ever see me and notice who I am? And so these souls will cling and just drain so much energy trying to get that approval, try to get that appreciation. Like in Avatar, when he says, I see you, this is what we all want. We all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. And so when we feel we're not seen or heard, it can create a lot of different energies that will play out. These inner child woundedness, these inner child wounds will start to act out. But if we can detach from all of that, and we can be authentic, and we can be courageous, and this means that we know we've got support. Like, I know I have so much angelic support and so much spiritual support behind the scenes. And now in my life, I feel like I also have that in my reality in this physical world. But there was a time when Tanya was leaving her old movie, and a lot of the people I started my journey with on this planet are not around anymore. They're still on the planet, but they're not here with me. They couldn't handle my power. They couldn't handle my truth. They couldn't handle my authenticity. And I refused to be abused by them. I refused to be shamed by them. I refused to swallow my truth another day. And so this is where it gets to this place where souls have to be very honest with each other. And the ones that can't handle the truth bringer, they will shame and shut the door. And if you don't take it personally, you realize, thank you for the lessons. Our time is done. And I'm expanding. So I don't need to cling to you. I don't need to have you still love me, or even what's the saddest part is, to me, from my observation, family experiences like that, it was never love. And so many families have no clue what love really is. They do not show love. They are controlling, they're manipulative, they're judgmental, and they say it's because they love you. And I feel it's the opposite of that. I feel true love. People can feel. I have soul family that I have met, and instantly we feel a connection because we see each other. And like today at my bridal shower, these women said the most beautiful things of how they feel about being in my presence that I have never heard from a lot of my family. And this is because these are soul family. These are souls that are like, I see you, Tanya, and I love you, and I love how you shine, and I love how authentic you are and how courageous you are. And when I feel doubt in myself and I feel afraid, you give me hope and strength and courage to be this for myself. And this is what I feel true family is. And this is what love is. And sometimes it's when we say the truth to someone and it's something that scares them because it challenges their ego, but it's truth. And that truth may cut like a sword. Like if we've seen a soul living out of alignment, and I work with clients, they'll come and they, get these messages of deep truth, and they're like, oh my God, it can feel painful at first to see that deep truth of how much they've been hurting themselves and betraying themselves. But once they get through that, I feel that is actually love, and they see and trust and have respect for me as a healer and as a mentor because they know Tanya's going to tell me the truth. She's not going to withhold something. She's going to speak that truth. And I feel these are the people that we're going to thrive with if we have a mentor this way, or if I have clients and friends that are this way and family. I feel supported and loved as well. And if we're surrounding ourselves with people who we call family, but they don't really honor us or see us or show us honor and respect, and they shame us and guilt trip us, that is actually enslavement. And some of the worst enslavement on the planet is happening in families today. And so if we can kind of look at it I see it very gangster mentality. Like I look at gangsters, you know, like the gangster mentality, or like Ian said last week on the show, he called it the tribal mentality. And I feel when it's a misaligned tribe or a misaligned gang, there's usually a gang leader or a tribal leader, and they silence the rest of them unless they give them permission to speak, and that's only if they allow it. But if it's aligned and it's an aligned family unit, then all souls have the right to speak truth. And they welcome the truth, and they know that the truth will help the tribes really thrive. Rather than when we silence and shame each other, we actually shut our evolution down, and we actually cause destruction to our own cells in our body. Like when I say all the family members are chowing down on food, but no one's speaking truth, they're hurting their own body. Rather than speak truth, we stuff our emotions with food. If we can start to speak truth more, we don't need to do that. And this will change the cells of our body, and this will change the dynamic of our family. Our family units will thrive because we'll show up for each other, we'll see each other, we'll honor what we see, and we'll speak truth. And this is what the planet needs to do, because humanity, if we look at the global tribe, this is like unity consciousness. Unity consciousness, it is time for us to come together and to wake up and self-realize, because when we can do that, we can show up for each other. We can see each other, no matter what our spacesuit looks like. If I'm black, white, brown, if I'm a woman, a man, if I'm tall, short, thin, heavy, it doesn't matter. But we show up and we see each other and we honor the soul of each other, and we know that we're all connected. So this planet, if all the bees die, for example, we're fucked, because the bees are very much helping us to survive by pollinating everything. And this is something like, if people want to watch the movie Avatar again and really pay attention to how important that film is, what it's saying, that it is an absolute possibility that humans could overconsume a planet and overtake to where that planet will have to shake them off or they will destroy it. And so I feel we're getting a lot of messages right now, like what I'm getting in my dreams is that Earth Mother is talking back. She's rumbling and churning because she's giving warnings. We're seeing droughts and weather changes and things. That's always gone on the planet, but it's gone on in very strategic ways to bring balance back. And so I feel if we can see how we can change that in ourselves, like Cindy doing that change for herself and becoming empowered, and her changing and coming into a more authentic space, most freaking important thing she could do in her life. And the family that are meant to be there with her and support her on that journey will show up. And if they're not the ones you were born to, keep rising anyways. Because sometimes, in my case, not many of those family members rose with me. So if I waited for them all to get it, I stay heavy. That is not what the planet needs. Humanity needs more of us to wake up and to come into our alignment and to lead with courage and power and walk our spiritual truth. This is all that you need to do with your life. If you keep it simple, we'll, put so much pressure from the ego. It's like, what do I have to be when I grow up? And, what am I supposed to do with my life? And, what would make me successful? The most important thing you each have to do, be authentic. Simple as that. Be authentic. Live authentically. That's it.
And Cindy's saying, that was the perfect message for me. I laughed, cried, and received much insight. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it when I can give them the laugh, cry energy. Oh, yeah. It's awesome. So I'm glad, and I really hope that me sharing my side helps you to realize that you could get to a place one day where you are so empowered. Like, I'm speaking on this internet show. Who knows how many people will see this? Technology can be fascinating, and this could travel. You guys could all get on there and share this video, and then someone else shares that video, and they share it, and it goes out, and it just becomes viral, where everyone gets to hear this message. And look at the courage. There was a time where I was terrified to talk out loud in a circle. Like, we're in a group with like other shaman women, And I've been to so many circles that were with misaligned leaders that really kind of energetically shut people down. Like, don't you dare show up and show me that you're smarter than me, because you're supposed to come here and get the answers from me. And what's interesting is that is the opposite of what I feel